Recording. Awesome, we are recording. First off, I want to thank you guys for being here and committing to investing in your knowledge and your growth so that you can go out there and share your message more confidently because people need you. And I just love that you guys are devoting time to your health and your business. So make sure you take time to realize how far you've come and pat yourself on the back for that. Second, lots of different things coming up. And if you were just on the Zoom before, sorry, you just heard me rant about this, but repetition is key for all of us. So I'm going to repeat it again. We have lots of exciting things coming. First, we have Super Saturday on Saturday. That is a quarterly event that we have all over the United States, Canada, and the UK. And you can go into our coach office, search Super Saturday, find an event in your area, and go to a live event. The thing is if you're like me, you're probably a little bit of an introvert and these events terrify you. And I will tell you that my first summit, I almost didn't go. And it pains me to think that if I would have backed out of going to summit, I might still be stuck in my business. I might not have achieved the level of success that I have, because when I went, I got a bigger vision for my life and a bigger vision for my business, and I was able to connect with people. I was so terrified to go, but once I got there, I realized I was part of an incredible community, and I was so grateful to be a part of that. And so that's what these quarterly events are for, so that you can get out, connect in person. We are more productive when we have deeper connections with people. Like, let that sink in. It's something crazy, like 30% more productive when we have better, deeper connections and relationships with other people. And that is one reason why it's important to come to these team trainings. That's also another reason why it's important to check in to Ignite Your Life. Post questions. If you're struggling with something, post it. If you have a success, post it. If you're learning something that excites you, a lot of times you guys will privately message me and say, oh my goodness, this happened to me in my business today. I know it's not a big deal for you. And it's like, no, it is a big deal for me, because I remember those wins. I remember when I was a brand new coach and signed my first customer. I remember when I signed my first coach to my team. Those things are important. You need to socialize those wins. You need to give yourself credit for those wins. So make sure you're going into Ignite and you're sharing that. Second, Super Saturday, back to that point. Super Saturday is on Saturday. If you can't make a live event, I am going to be doing one for our team on Friday, Super Friday. That will be at 12 p.m. Pacific time. The event details are up on the team page. I just want to make sure that you all can get the information, because we have so many new programs and products rolling out. I don't want you guys missing out, because when these program launches happen, I've seen coaches take their business from brand new coach to 5-star diamond on a program launch. They are really incredible opportunities, and we have Transform 20 coming out in December. Or the launch is in December. The program itself will come out in January. And a lot of you have been asking, we will have an info group. We will have a team challenge group. We will have a training on Transform 20 and how to launch it for you. So you will have all of that. So there's that. We have Super Friday. Sunday, we have our flash sale. That's 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. To get into the flash sale, to be a part of that, you have to have your contribution to the cash pot by Thursday at 11:59 p.m., whatever standard time you are in, 11:59 p.m. So when I wake up on Friday, I know what the total cash pot is going to be, and I can put the sales together and put all the timing together for the team so that I can have all of that out by Friday afternoon after our Super Friday, so that you all can go to your customers and say, hey, you wanted Energize, it's going on sale at this time, so that they know. Monday, we have a Emerald in 24-hour Zoom. Basically, it's a 40-minute Zoom. Leaders are going to be sharing with you how to make Emerald happen in 24 hours. And if you want in on that, message your coach, tell them why you want in on that. It's a special Zoom by invite only, so you really have to share why that Emerald in 24 hours is going to be a benefit to you. Monday, we also have our Diamond Dash starting. More details will be posted about that tomorrow, but I have a live video and also a post up if you want in on that. It's limited spots, so make sure to comment to join. That is going to be incredible, because we're going to be helping all your coaches go Emerald in that training as well. We're going to have special trainings. The content is surreal. It's better than we've ever created before, so I'm really excited about that. We've been spending a lot of time creating that content. And there's one other post in Ignite Your Life that you should check out. And it is one that I asked, what topic will help you to level up your business? Don't be afraid to share. Guys, we all are learning every day. Like I probably message one of you every day and go, oh my gosh, this is what I learned today. I can't believe it took me 7.5 years. Repetition is key. It really is. Even for me, I have to hear things over and over and over again for it to sink in, for it to click. But that's what I love is we show up for our business every day. We show up for our fitness every day. We show up for our nutrition every day. And we have all these aha moments along the way. And it just pieces all together. Like success isn't just one day you arrive and have success. It's showing up every day with these key basic things. And through that repetition, you learn so much if you're diving in to learn more. So comment on that post because I'm creating content for our weekly team trainings. And I want it to be training that you need in your business. What do you need to get yourself to the next level? It can be mindset. It can be limiting beliefs. It can be inviting. It can be challenge groups. It can be growing your network, whatever that is. Go comment on that post because I want to make sure it's exactly what you need to help you in your business, okay? And I'm creating that next week, so don't forget to go comment. All right, lots of stuff, lots of exciting stuff, lots of opportunities for you guys. One last thing before I bring Katie on. October, November, December, this is the last quarter of the year. I have seen coaches dive in and be able to double their income in 3 months. I have seen coaches put their business on the back burner during these 3 months. The choice is completely up to you. I hope you choose to dive in and double your income. I hope you choose to dive in and help a ton of people. But the more coaches you sign up right now, the more coaches you're going to have equipped for January when the flood comes, when it's easy. But I will tell you that if you are not inviting in October, November, and December, if you wait until January, when January comes, everyone who's jumping on the fitness bandwagon will already know what bandwagon they're jumping on. They will already know if they're joining that gym. They will already know if they're joining Weight Watchers. And I don't know about you guys, but I know that what we have to offer will actually help them get results. Not a gym membership where 2 or 3 months later, they're not showing up. And that's not what I want for people. They can still go to the gym and use that membership streaming VOD, but then at least they have a plan and they have a support system with you. So there's nothing wrong if they get a gym membership, but most of the time they don't have a plan and they don't have a support system. And we know they need those things to change, to make a difference. And you guys have that in you, with you, at your fingertips right now. So if you are not shouting it from the rooftops this moment, today, tomorrow, and every single day through the rest of the year, you are missing out because they're going to jump on something else. And I don't know about you, but I know our team's the best. I know what you have to offer, and your coaching and your story is exactly the person that they need. And so I need you guys going out there. If you won't do it for yourself, if you won't do it for your family, if you won't do it for them, do it for me. Because I need us helping more people than what we're doing currently. There's so many people out there. I just had a girl from my post today, Jack. I posted Jack, and she reached out. First comment, how much? And I reached out. I didn't bat around. I've built a relationship with her for years, and I said, it's $220. You get a month supply of Shakeology, a month of pre-workout, a month of post-workout, a year access to the fitness and nutrition plans. Do you want the spot? Do you want the spot? That's what I said. Do you want it? She's like, yes. Like, okay, I'm sending you the enrollment now. Once you're all set up, we're going to go through everything. We're going to go through the workout, the nutrition plans. She goes, Christy, I am so depressed. I've put on 20 pounds and I'm so depressed. I don't have energy. I don't want to get out of bed. I need something to change my life. People are out there and they're waiting to change their life. They're waiting for a sign. They're waiting for you to post. They're waiting for you to invite them because they're too scared to take that step. Now with her, I'd planted the seed like 10 times. So even though it sounds like a really cool story, she's asked me 10 times and I've gotten the no response and the ghosting and the no's. But go out there and plant them now so that you're the person that they decide to jump on board with in December. because December's a big month and you want all those invites out there now and as many no's as you can get now. So when Transform 20 comes out, you've already had that relationship with them. You already have them telling you no 5, 10, 15 times. All right. I'm a little fired up, so I'm going to stop now. I'm going to let Katie take over. She has incredible things to share with you. I love everything that she shares because she shares it from the heart. She is not going through an easy time in her life right now, and she shows up with enthusiasm and vulnerability to help other people know that it's okay. You can still take steps forward in your goals. And I talked about that today on my live video, that no matter what is happening in my life, fitness, nutrition, and this business is the solution. It's not the thing that I put on the back burner. It's the priority, especially during the tough times. So Katie, I'm so excited to have you share with us your takeaways from Brendan and how everything you're learning and the perspective you have to push through those tough times and rock your business.
Thank you so much, Christy. Oh my gosh, you got me fired up. And I love you. So I was so privileged to be asked by Christy a few months ago. I don't remember exactly. Oh, it was that summit. Whether or not I would be interested in being a part of a few ladies that got to come and be a part of the Brendon Burchard High Performance Academy conference. And hi, I'm not going to read the chat too much because I will get sidetracked. I tend to be one of those people that if I lose my train of focus, I can't come back. So my immediate response that came out of my mouth before I had thought about it whatsoever was yes, I'm going. Like, it doesn't matter when it is. It doesn't matter what it costs. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters except for the fact that I want to do this. And yes, because you invited me and because I know who Brendon Burchard is and because I am in this to grow and to become better. So whatever it took to go, I was going. And I love right now I get to see like Cassie and Jenna and Lisa on this call because I got to meet these amazing women in person when I came to this event, and I would have missed out on that and so much more if I didn't just say yes. Like, you don't have to be aware of every single thing that's going to happen. You don't have to have it all figured out, but take the opportunities when they're given to you, you guys, because this opportunity right here as being coaches is amazing, and you will grow like crazy if you say yes to the opportunities you have through it. So that leads me to talking about some of the topics that I'm going to cover that I learned from the Brendon conference. And I was just going to say that I said yes 3 months before some really big changes have started in my life. And I'm going to go into that just a little bit because, you know, when you're going to hear a lot of some of the same things that maybe some other people have shared in the last couple of weeks about what they learned at the conference. But just like Christy says, repetition is so important for us to learn and to remember. And, you know, not every person is going to hear it the same way and process it through the same lens. So for me to share it through my perspective of what I got from this conference is maybe going to help you hear it in a different way. So I'm not afraid to repeat some of the things that some people shared. So what happened a few months later after I was invited to come to this incredible conference is I made a really big decision for my life. My husband and I had been struggling for many, many years to be healthy. I would say I was less struggling to be a healthy person than he was. I had moved forward with my life. I had healed from a lot of really bad things he had put me through. I had gotten stronger as a result of them. I had decided to take charge of my life and my health, and I began coaching about 1.5 years ago. And I don't know, I mean, I do know, I don't need to go into the details, but there was a certain point where it just clicked for me that if I'm going to move forward beyond this point in my business, in my life, in my personal growth, in who I am as a person, and in what I want for my life, I'm going to have to make the decision to let go of what I've been fighting for. And that was a very hard decision because I've had this perspective of, or this image in my mind for years of what life was supposed to be like, what my marriage was supposed to be like, what he was supposed to treat me like. And none of those things were going to happen. And if I kept hanging on to that and I kept allowing the depression and the toxic relationship to permeate everything about who I am, and didn't allow myself to move forward from that, then I wouldn't be able to live my full potential, and I wouldn't be able to have the joy that I know I want in my life and deserve in my life. So that's kind of a preface. I've been divorced for about a month, and I'm moving in a week to my own townhouse out of our big house. So a lot of changes happening, and I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's hard, but it's good. So let's start with some of the things that I learned from the Brennan Conference. I kind of started at the beginning of my book that I wrote a bunch of notes in, and I just decided to pick through it and decide what stood out the most to me and affected me the most, being that I'm going through what I'm going through right now. So there's only two things that will change your life. Something external. That means that something new comes into your life, whether that's something good or something bad, or something internal. That means that something is going to come from within you. So he challenged us to think about that and to tap into what's inside of us. And the truth is, many people don't do that. They lack self-awareness and what's really going on inside, because it's really uncomfortable to do that. It scares them. People don't want to go there. They don't want to think about it too long because it's scary to know what's going on inside. But if there's anything that I've learned over the last few years, it's that not being aware of yourself, your blind spots, what your dreams are, what your goals are, what makes you uniquely gifted, what makes you you, is detrimental to ever actually living your best life. You have to be aware of what makes you you on all different levels. You don't need to be defensive about it. Be introspective about it. Don't shame yourself for your flaws or your presumed inadequacies and your weaknesses. Instead, face those challenges and make those weaknesses you have into strengths. So for example, my husband, we were in ministry for about 15 years of life, and he was a pastor, so he spoke on stage and did that regularly in front of thousands and thousands of people in the last 10 years of our life together, like maybe even 100,000 people or more. He was so super comfortable behind a microphone. I never felt like I would ever be capable of doing such a thing because of my weaknesses. And my weaknesses were that I was extremely insecure to the point of feeling nauseous if I was going to be put in a position of having to do something in front of people. I get flustered when I think too much about what people are thinking about me instead of focusing on what I'm actually trying to say. Like even in a conversation, I would get flustered. And I lacked the confidence that what I had to say was even something that people would want to hear or need to hear. So that's who I was. And through this coaching thing that just happened to fall into my lap, you know, I have recognized that I have the strength to turn my weaknesses into strengths. I have what it takes to do that. And so I've decided through this opportunity to work on these weaknesses, and it has unbelievably helped me. Every single time that I've been given an opportunity to speak publicly, such as this, I have decided I'm going to say yes. And it doesn't matter what it is. If it's an opportunity for me to step into something I'm scared of, and this scares me, I'll be honest, I'm going to say yes, because it's okay if it scares me. It's okay if I mess up. It's okay if I say something wrong or you guys think something about me that, whatever, you can think whatever you want. I'm still good. I'm okay, because I'm learning and I'm growing, and that's what's changed about me, and that's changed because of this coach opportunity. I am not someone that would have ever felt the ability to be vulnerable and speak in front of people and make mistakes in the past. Not even close. So anyways, that's a big change that's happened as a result of this. If nothing else happens with coaching, if I don't make a dime, even that is worth this. I am so different because of this opportunity. So let me go back to my notes here. So any fear that you've got, if you face that fear enough times, eventually that fear becomes normalized. So for me, if public speaking is what my weakness is, and I don't want it to be weakness, because I want to be a leader, I want to be strong, I want to change lives, I want to build my business to a point where I'm in the top, I don't even know what number I want to be in. I'll just say the top 10. Let's just go there. If I want to be a top 10 coach, I have to be comfortable with being able to speak in front of people. So that means I've got to give myself enough opportunities that it becomes normalized for me, that it's not something that I have to fear anymore. So whatever it is that your fear is, you got to face that fear. You got to take that challenge and say, I'm gonna face that challenge. You have to you don't win your wars by running from your battles. That was a quote I got during this conference that I shared on my wall, and I love it. You don't win your wars by running from your battles. You have to build yourself into the person who can handle the next thing, and the person who deserves the dreams that you have for your life. It's not just going to fall into your lap. You got to earn it. So more than ever at this time in my life, I'm recognizing that there is absolute necessity for me to keep my mind healthy and focused on the goals that I want for my life. If I was not doing that every day right now, you guys, I would probably not be getting out of bed. But because I am focused on my personal development, I'm focused on moving forward, I'm focused on helping others, I'm focused on what I'm going to do with this crisis, it's a necessity for me to have clarity of how I'm going to do those things. I have to have clarity of how I'm going to reach my goals. I wrote here, you've got to stop waiting to live the life that you really want to feel and take initiative to feel what you want to feel in your life now. Not just later, not just after you've gotten to be a top 10 coach. Now, you've got to start taking that initiative now. And I'm going to throw in something here on a different part that just fits really well. You've got to honor the struggle that it takes to get there. I've been sharing this in my challenge group. In fact, I've been going over all the high performance habits in my group this month, and it's probably way too much information for them, but I'm just like, they're probably not reading this on their own, so I'm just going to give it to them. Because I know that if they're reading this, even half of them, it's going to change their life. So anyways, and it helps me because I'm relearning it as I share it. But anyways, one of the topics that I covered was, honor the struggle. And if you haven't heard that yet and understand what it means is you cannot become the person who is strong enough to handle the next thing and the person who deserves the success that you're going to have if you don't embrace the hard struggle it takes to get there. If you're running from your struggle, if you're trying to take the easy way out, and in this day and age, it's so easy for us to want that because we're programmed by everything around us, from our phones to air conditioning to our cars. Everything we do in this life right now is programmed to help us make life easier, right? It's programmed so that we don't have to put as much effort into something. We can call Uber now if we don't want to go pick up our food. Like, they'll do it for us. It's just ridiculous, and it kind of drives me crazy. But, when you get used to knowing what it takes to work hard and do something that's hard, like my fitness journey has taught me that. When you learn what it takes to persevere, to push through your struggles, push through your obstacles, become a person who can handle things that come in your way, like divorce, like having panic attacks, like having anxiety, like, there's so many things that can come in our way. But when we have learned to become the person that doesn't let those things stop us, and we say, okay, that may be an obstacle. Yes, that may be something that's standing in my way, but I can get through that. Then you earn the person that you're going to become. And without being willing to face those things and say, I'm going to do this regardless of what it takes, then you don't get to have that character development, and you miss out. And others miss out because others need that. Others need you to be your best self. Okay, back to my notes. Sorry, off on a tangent. So I realized during the conference that until I began being a coach, up until the point of me actually starting coaching, I was actually living my life for somebody else. And that was my husband. If I'm running out of time, Christy, just let me know. Like if you have other things to share or somebody else. Okay. I was actually living life literally for him. Everything that I did was to support his dreams, his goals. I was completely sacrificing my own. And, you know, that's not on him. That's on me. Like, it's not me blaming him. That was on me to say that my life was only worth supporting somebody else's dreams. But you know what? In fact, I wouldn't even say that I was sacrificing my own because I didn't even have any. Like, you were to ask me, Katie, what's on your bucket list? Katie, what do you want to achieve in your life? What are some goals you have? The only thing that I would have told you was to weigh 145 pounds. That was my goal weight. That was the goal I had set for probably 15 years of probably 20 years of my life. Like, how crazy is that, you guys? 20 years of one goal that you have not achieved and nothing beyond that. I can't even believe that I'm the same person that was there. But I was doing everything for him, and I actually believed that I was created. This is so awful, you guys. I actually believed that I was created and put on this earth to lift him up and make his dreams come true and build his legacy. And maybe to some people that can be a beautiful thing, but only if it's seen and appreciated and it's something that you build together. But it wasn't about us, it was about him. And for some reason, for many years, I was okay with that. I enabled him to take advantage of me by not believing that I was worthy of my own dreams. So that leads me to this, is never let your past or your circumstances limit your vision for your future. I'm going to say it one more time. Never let your past or your circumstances limit your vision for the future. It'd be really easy for me to be like, I'm going to stay in that place because that's who I've always been. And I've wasted all these years not believing in myself and not doing anything with my life. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to choose to believe that there's more and that I'm capable of more. Which also then brings me to something else. So I'm going to do my best not to get too emotional during this part because it is emotional. But Brendan talked about, he led us through this really great practice, this exercise where he talked to us first about letting go of something that you've been holding on to. And I think, is it Angela? Someone might be actually leading you guys through the actual thing that he did in a couple weeks, so I won't go into that. But I'll just give you kind of the preface of what it was about. So what he said was that thing that you're still holding on to, you've got to let it go. Time has moved on, and so should you. This is this season. And your greatest enemy is how you've used your mind. I felt like he was speaking directly to me at that moment. You've got to get over how you were mistreated, how that unfair situation happened to you. You can't stay there because your mind is wired up in a chicken coop of yesterday. And that was so true for me. The world is a hard place to live in. People can be cruel, but you owe it to yourself and whoever else is depending on you to be your best self, to put your mind into the future more than your past. You're stronger than you think, and the future holds great things for you. Oh, that just resonated with me. And he asked the question, what would your life look like if you were able to let go of that thing? That one thing that you've been holding on to. And he also talked about how no one else is responsible for your healing but you. You guys, that was super hard for me to hear because I've put it on him to be the one to one day fix all of it and make it all better again. And it's not going to happen. So what do I do with that? Do I just allow that to break me and hold me back from what I want for my life? Or do I say, okay, well, how do I heal then from this? How do I help myself heal from this? How do I move forward from this? How do I turn this into something that's going to make a difference? Not only in my life, but many, many other people's lives. And that's what fires me up. I am more passionate today in this moment of this crisis I'm going through than I probably ever have been in my whole life. And that excites me because enthusiasm and excitement and passion is contagious. And I know that if I have that, I'm going to use it, and it's going to change other people in the process. So more than ever, I believe that every day, if I'm focused, that sorry, I typed this wrong. What does that say? Okay. So more than ever, I'm looking at this. You're stronger than you think. The future holds great things for you. And more than ever, I believe that if I believe that, then it will be true. That if every day I'm focused on that being my reality, and all my energy and my actions reflect my belief of this, that I will create what I desire for my life. Because what you focus on expands. Christy says it all the time. What you focus on expands. You don't just sit back and you wait for life to hand you the winning lottery ticket, because anyone can take advantage of the opportunities that the wind blows their ways. That's easy. Anybody can. But it takes a person of will and strength and character and passion and perseverance to create what they want their life to look like, to create the opportunities. A generator doesn't just have energy, it generates it. You know, this is something that has been said a lot at this conference. You guys heard it. A generator doesn't just have energy, it generates it, it creates it. Thankfully, energy is a renewable resource, and that was so empowering for me, because I realized that no matter how hard my circumstances were, I had every resource that I needed to overcome this, because I've developed confidence. And let me share with you what they said confidence was, and it resonated with me, because I'm like, yes, I have that. They said confidence is something that you generate so many times that it becomes a part of you. It's the authentic belief that I am resourceful enough to figure this out. And I believe that. I completely believe that. When you go through hard stuff and you make it through it, it helps you believe that. I knew that going through my divorce right now, if I got depressed, I knew I'd be able to pull myself out of it. I knew if I lost all my savings to the divorce, now I'm moving and I have to pay for all of that. I'm a single mom with a salary now that is exactly a quarter of what our combined household income used to be together. I knew if I lose all my money that I have in savings right now because of all the expenses I have, well, that'll give me even more motivation to build my business. I am resourceful enough to figure this out. I honestly guys, I have no idea where I'd be without this opportunity, without coaching. I'm not even making tons of money. I'm making a good income. I'll say that. I'm making a good part-time income, but I've been a coach for 1.5 years, and I haven't moved as quickly as I planned to, as I needed to, but it's okay, because I am where I'm at. This is my journey, and I'm owning it. And now I can move forward even as quick as I want to, because things aren't holding me back anymore. But regardless of the income, again, if I don't earn anything else, I have gained so much because of how it's changed my mindset. So here's just a few things of how this has changed my life. I had to start putting myself out there and being vulnerable to know what people would think of what I had to say. That was super scary to me. I was, like I said, I was super shy, introverted, so insecure. I had been off social media for 2 complete years because of all the, excuse my language, but because of all the shit I had to go through. I was not interested in putting myself out there on social media for people to see. I literally was off everything for 2 years. And then all of a sudden, I'm this coach that's supposed to share her life publicly and vulnerably and openly. And I was scared to death. And then all of a sudden, though, when people began to respond in such a positive way, it began to build my confidence. And it gave me such an excitement for, oh my gosh, like people actually care. People could actually use my story. I had to stop being a shy introvert without a backbone. I had to think of something bigger than myself and be willing to risk my comfy behind the curtain life where I had sat and hid for most of my life to that point. I'm so glad I did. Thankfully, I was willing to step out of my comfort zone and just try. I had no idea what I was doing, but when I actually went for it every day, I got more people who wanted to follow my journey and learn from me, who looked up to me, who are depending now on hearing from me every day. And it built my confidence and my desire to lead. It was so scary and humbling. But I shrunk, and there are a few times where I actually like kind of shrunk back from the responsibility that I was feeling some of the time, doubting myself. And you guys, that's okay. Like, that's part of the process. It's a roller coaster. When you start coaching, it is like this, but it's worth it, because eventually it goes like this and it goes up. It's, I lost my place here. Okay. Yes, now I recognize that that's part of the process. And as I'm going through a divorce right now, it's an absolutely perfect opportunity for me to take advantage of the crisis that I'm going through and turn it into finally doing something that I wasn't able to do before. In the book, The Obstacle is the Way, it talks about not leaving any crisis, not missing out on taking advantage of every crisis in your life, because it is such an opportunity to do something with it. In the face of hardship, we get to find out what we're really made of. And because of the difficult trials I've been through, I'm finding out that I'm a warrior, a fighter, someone that doesn't give up. I may struggle, I may trip and fall, but I will persevere. And I've been able to learn that about myself through that. But without the personal development that this job, so-called job, requires of me, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I wouldn't have the strength and confidence to do what I've been needing to do now for a long time, for many years. I have more, but we only have 2.5 minutes left. So did you want to wrap up, Christy? No, you want me to? Okay. Okay, the last thing on my list here that I really wanted to share was Brendan talked about 3 questions that he asked when he came face to face with what was potentially his last day on earth. He wanted to know if this was it for him. Did he live? Did he love? And did he matter? I don't remember how old he said he was, but he wasn't very old. Was he a teenager? I don't remember how old he was, but 20s or something. But he obviously couldn't answer those questions very well for himself at that time, because he was so young and he hadn't focused on what was important in life, and it really woke him up and it made his whole life change. He then began to ask himself questions every day. Today, did he live? Did he have regrets of things he didn't do? Things he missed because he wasn't fully engaged in enjoying the experience of life? Did he love? That meant to him, did he give of himself fully and completely, honestly, and joyously? And then did he matter? Was there a purpose or meaning to the life that he had lived? And he talked about how if you've not asked these questions that you're going to have to ask yourself at the end of life, then you're not living your life on purpose. And when you get there, you're not going to be happy with the answers. So you've got to know your questions. And if you don't know the questions, how can you possibly live your life purposely so that you'll have the answers? So I sat down when I got home and I wrote down my questions. I have less than a minute. My questions were, did I connect? Basically, did I connect with my boys and bond with them today? Did I impact people and other people today? And did I appreciate my life today? Did I live with full engagement and presentness in my life? And I've learned that life is not really about yourself, it's about other people. And if you want to make a difference in this world, then you've got to be willing to serve, and you've got to be willing to develop yourself into the leader that can do those things. And that's it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for letting me share. I'm sorry I took up every single second. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night.
That was so incredible. My phone died. I had to unmute it. So incredible. You guys, I am going to post this. Make sure to tag your teams. Katie has such a powerful story, but I want you guys to understand that every single one of you do